Well, good morning everyone. Hello again. Welcome to another Yukon Bob video. In the truck this morning, and I am heading northbound once again out of the city of Toronto and heading about 2 hours and 40 minutes away to launch out onto Georgian Bay for a one-night Seadoo camping trip. Finally getting out on a camping trip and kind of looking forward to that. It's the middle of a massive heat wave in Toronto at the time of this recording. I think yesterday we set a record in Toronto area for 100 years. We hit almost 40 plus, 42 degrees Celsius with the humidex value. So it is a scorcher right now in Toronto. Today is also going to be hot. Maybe not quite as hot where I'm going. I'm heading north of Parry Sound, which is on Georgian Bay, and I'm going to launch from a place called Dillon Cove Marina and put into the water there. That's just to the north of Parry Sound. Going to be a group of 5 or 6 of us, I think, today. I think 5 Seadoos, 6 people, something like that. So we are on our way, 2 hours and about 40 minutes to get up there. I hope it's a little cooler up there than it is in the city. It's supposed to be a little bit, but it's a night of camping. Finally, a Seadoo camping trip. I've got all the gear with me. It's all packed into the back there. The Seadoo in tow behind. Once we get up there, we'll load it all onto the Seadoo and make our way out onto the waters of Georgian Bay for this camping trip. So come on along. We're going to have a lot of fun on this one. Should be great. I think the weather conditions will be good for the next 24, 48 hours. It's about 9-10 kilometers, something like that, after you cut off the main highway heading into Dillon Cove Marina. It's a pretty little drive. The road is really good on the way in. Nice paved road and very pretty country. So this is the road heading into Dillon Cove Marina. We're just about there now. Okay, other than the camera gear, I've pretty much got everything loaded onto the Seadoo. So this is the setup. The wood is just going to sit in here. I put a little piece of carpeting down underneath there so it doesn't scratch the Seadoo. Got a bag there. I've got all the camping gear and the tent and stuff in here. A couple of things that I've just got tucked in between the cooler and that Ortlieb bag. I'm not going to bring any gas on this trip because I don't think we're going to need it. There's marinas out there. If we need gas, we can get it. Plus, we're not going any great distances. And I have another one of these bags tucked into this side, just clipped onto the seat here. Life jacket on there. And then I'm going to put some more camera gear and stuff up in the front there. The drone and other camera gear and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's just about it. This blue bag will also go on the side as well, and I'll just tie that in. But other than that, that's just about it. Andrew has brought 2 Seadoos with him today. He's got the boys with him. Dave and Matthew are here. So he's got the extended platform on the back of his Seadoo on this one here. This is a 2023 GTX non-limited, but he's put the extended platform on this. We've done a video in the past on this, but this allows you to bring like all the link gear. He's got a couple of big boxes on the back. This is the link bag as well that comes with that Seadoo Pro. Explorer, and then a cooler here, a Yeti cooler that he's adapted to click onto here. Gives him a lot more room than the Seadoo cooler. And then of course the GPS and all that stuff up there. It's called a Yeti Roadie 24. Yeti Roadie 24. And you've put the link mounts on the bottom?
Yep, I had to glue them onto the side rather than drill into the mount.
Okay, oh, I see what you've done there. We'll look at that maybe a little bit later. And then the other Seadoo here, what year is this one? 2015. So this is the 2015. This is the suspension ride machine. Those are not made anymore. Greg's got the homemade setup here. This is something he's developed over the years. It's worked in the past. He's had out a couple of times now, so it should be okay. It's the 2024. I said it was teal. It's not teal. It's a 2024 300, but not the limited. So it's the first time in the water for it. I think he bought it at the boat show last winter, and this is the very first time in the water, so there's a bit of a break-in period to go through on this. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We're not going to be going super fast out there anyway today. It's all amongst the islands. Some of the 30,000 islands that make up the islands of Georgian Bay. That's what we're going to be playing around with, from Franklin Island down in the south all the way up to a thing called Ojibwe Island up in the north, and maybe even a little bit further north than that. I bought these water shoes out of China, and they're great on the Seadoo because they're full of little holes up top. They're all rubber. They just drain out. The only problem with them is that they've got like just a tiny little bit of rubber on the bottom, and every rock you step on or little stone, you feel it right through the bottom of your foot. So I think I'll walk on the grass. So it is $40 for overnight. If you're going to be coming up to Dillon Cove Marina, it's $40 to park overnight, leave the trailer overnight for in and out, and then to leave the trailer overnight. So that's what the cost is for one night of camping out on Georgian Bay, $40. And a visa.
There you go.
And I can tap?
It's just right up there.
Okay. Okay, David, you parked me right in the scum. How come I got the scum and everybody else got the clean water?
It's not the nicest machine. I couldn't give you
This is like the lock we went through at Swift Rapids Lock last week. It was just full of this pollen in the water. But once we get out there just a little bit, that'll all be gone. First thing, I got to put these keys and this wallet away, because if I don't, it's going to get dropped and it'll be in the lake. So the only issue we may have now is that the camp spot that we're going to is perfect for what we've got, 5 Seadoos out here today. But if somebody else is already in there, that is going to pose quite a problem for us in order to find another camp spot that will accommodate 5 Seadoos, because there's a lot of rock on Georgian Bay, but the one campsite that we found a couple of years ago and we've been using over the last little while on Franklin Island is absolutely perfect. You can park 5 Seadoos in there, no problem. It's a great camp spot. Nice view of Georgian Bay, all of that. But is there anybody there? It's a Tuesday today. Shouldn't be anybody there, but you never know, right? So we'll see. Yeah, there's a fair amount of stuff on here, including firewood for the night. But that stuff will come off. All of a sudden the wind's coming up a little bit. We might get a little bit wet bouncing down there. Okay, I think we're ready to head out. The other guys have just taken off. It's not that far to get down to where we're going. 5 kilometers, 4 kilometers, something like that. So we've kind of come out of the channel a little bit now. We're out onto the bigger water of Georgian Bay. Over to the right there, that's Franklin Island. So we're at the bottom end of that island is where we're going to be camping. And then the big open water of Georgian Bay right out in front of us. Isn't that rock beautiful? We're just going up around the point here, and then we'll be pulling into our camp spot. It's also a lot cooler out here than it was yesterday in the city. I think in the city yesterday we hit 42 degrees Celsius with the humidex. It was 35 degrees, then 42 degrees with the humidex. So it's actually just a cool breeze out here today. It's a whole different story out on Georgian Bay. Temperature is a little cooler up here though. All right, we're just coming into the camp spot now, which is just ahead. Whoa, that's not good. Look at that. We got to go around that. A little bit of a bump there. That's why that rock is sitting out there. It's just a bit of a warning of that ledge right across there. Camp spot though is right back there, and it looks like we are the first ones here, so that will be our spot. Perfect. Right up there where Andrew's just pulled into. It's a nice sand beach, and we can easily, I think, park 5 Seadoos there. It's going to be a little tight for 5 machines. 4 is perfect, 5's a little snug, but I think Andrew's made a little room.
We were talking about leaving you behind. Wow. Who's going to make the video?
Yeah, this is a great spot. There's almost a little swim hole right over on that side. The fire pit is here. There's a couple of benches for sitting on. Then there's a trail that takes you up over that way. And then there's a big rock outcrop up on top there that you can look out over Georgian Bay with. So we each brought a bag of firewood with us just to ensure that we've got some nice dry wood for tonight. Sometimes it's hard to forage through the bush here and find firewood because it's picked over from all the people that have been camping here over the years. But we each brought a bag, so we only got one night, so that should be pretty good for a night. Good fire, Greg.
Oh yeah, well we're just starting it, buddy. Where have you been?
What the hell happened to the record-setting hottest day of the year? You almost need a jacket out here. Just on the back side of our little campground is a little pond back here, which I think you can get through on the Seadoos. If you come way around, you can get back in here. And it could be a little swimming hole back here, although the water is pretty muddy on the bottom. That's thick, deep mud.
One more gin drink.
All right. This little spot is just about 2 minutes up the hill from where we've got our tent set up. And you get this view all the way out along Georgian Bay. So we came in down that way around the bottom end of Franklin Island. Out that way is the Mink Islands. Further north is the McCoy Islands. And then our little entrance way is just in there. So this is the tent setup for tonight. We've got 5 tents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have you guys each got a tent?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 6 tents. Some in the back. There's an hammock over there that is strung between a couple of trees. Another tent there, another tent here. Throwing my tent right up in here. And Greg's got his tent set up right over there. So we did have enough room here. I was kind of concerned that there might not be enough room for all these tents. There's just barely enough room for 5 Seadoos, but definitely enough room for 6 tents. So that's a good thing to know. This little spot that we're camping on is really a protected area, but you've got to be careful of rocks here because there are, yeah, it's a bit shallow through here. See if I can make my way into this bay over here. Sort of the backside of our camp right over there. This is true, typical Georgian Bay. All of this granite rock, all these little inlets and bays that you can work your way back into. It's just a beautiful little area. There's some 30,000 islands that make up the waters around Georgian Bay, and this is just some of those islands. This is a fairly big island. It's called Franklin Island. We're on the south end of Franklin Island, but there's just all kinds of little waterways through here that go back off the mainland, off the big open water, and you can kind of work your way back through behind some islands. Then there's some more islands. You get back in behind those, find little channels, and just keep working your way back around. I think that's the backside of our campground right through over there. Okay, we have had a little bit of lunch, some hamburgers for lunch on the charcoal burner. And now it's time to get out on the water a little bit. And I think things have calmed down a little bit since when we first pulled in out on the bigger water. We'll see in a minute once we get out of this bay, see what it looks like out there. But I think things are settling down a little bit. There's a group of islands just off the coast out here, a kilometer or two, called the Mink Islands, and it's all this beautiful granite out there. I think we'll take a run out over to the Mink Islands and have a look, see what it looks like today. Whenever I see scenes like this here, it reminds me of the artistry of the group of 7 painters. They were very big on painting Georgian Bay landscapes, and this kind of reminds me of that a little bit. You can see how narrow it is there. That's our entrance to get in here. It's just a little channel. Just hug the shoreline there. Otherwise, there's rocks on that side. But right along the shore, it's just deep enough to get in here. Greg said he just hit a rock. I said, welcome to my world. So these are the Mink Islands. I don't know what they are, maybe a couple of kilometers off the mainland. And there's just a whole bunch of these granite outcroppings all along the water out here. I think people come out here with kayaks and canoes, and they camp out in these areas. You can just set up a tent on these rocks. But for a Seadoo, the problem is there's a place to park and tie up for the night. A kayak or a canoe, you can just pull it up onto the shoreline. But for a Seadoo, it's a little bit different. But isn't it kind of cool out here, all these rock outcroppings? Just like kind of cruising around back through here. It's just kind of a neat area. Too bad the sun wasn't out a little more. It was out about an hour ago, and it's kind of dipped back behind the clouds a bit. It's a little more overcast right now. like David and Matthew are trying to get dinner for it still.
No luck.
Still no luck. Have you seen anything?
It's the biggest fish I've ever seen.
Was it a pike?
Bass.
A bass? Oh, there it is right there.
Really?
Right there, yeah, right up front. Just saw it go by. Bass would be nice for dinner. I don't know if I've ever eaten a bass. I don't like pike. That's probably more psychological than anything though. Growing up in the Yukon, whenever we caught pike, even if they were big pike, just threw them back. I've caught 15, 20, 25 pound pike. Big suckers, just throwing them all back. Left a little room so the next Seadoo can get in. The boys are still out trying a little fishing. It is supper time, I think. I think the guys have got dinner prepared. I have to cook a bit of dinner myself. Everybody looking out for themselves for the most part. But that's kind of the way we do it out here. Everybody brings what they want to bring. We share a couple of things, but mostly people just kind of provide for themselves, and then we just kind of share utensils, not utensils, cooking burners and pots and stuff like that. Beautiful night as we end this first night out on Georgian Bay. We'll see you guys in the morning, and look forward to it. Hope we have a good night's sleep. It's going to be a little chillier than we thought, but I think we'll survive. All right, we'll talk to you in the morning. Well, good morning, everyone. Just waking up from the first night in the tent on Franklin Island. Went to bed about 11:30 midnight last night, and I'm just having a look at our morning view here. Okay, there we go. Greg's up already. Morning, Greg.
Morning.
Looks like a beautiful morning out there. Trying to figure out whether to leave the tent set up and then leave everything here and then pick it up at the end of the day on the way by so that the stuff isn't on the Seadoos all day, or you pack it up and you carry all of this stuff with you now. I'm thinking that we're so close to where we launch from that maybe we just leave everything here and we pick it up at the end of the day. You can semi-pack it up and then just pack up the tent and put everything on the Seadoo at the end of the day. But you don't want to pack the tents and put them away, because then somebody else will come in here and think nobody's here and see all the stuff, take the stuff, somebody left it, you know, whatever. So we'll figure that out. Like your shirt.
Thanks.
Canada. Hey, are the Seadoos still here?
Yep.
Let's have a look. They're just down this trail here. We parked them all here last night. Nothing is tied because we just pulled them up onto the beach and just let them sit on the bottom there. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 machines. They're all here. Okay, so they made it through the night, and we knew they would. It's very calm, very sheltered back in here. And you're really protected here. Plus it's an entirely sand bottom here. So yeah, they're all fine and dandy. Let's get that coffee going so we can be fine and dandy. Okay, we got that first cup of coffee underway this morning. Just brought instant coffee. I didn't go all out. I just boiled some hot water and just used a cup of instant coffee and a little bit of milk. Gonna go up top here and have a look at Georgian Bay. See what the wind looks like out here this morning. Yeah, there's some ripples out there. So breakfast has not even begun yet, and the boys have already come back from fishing, and look what they've got. Look at that sucker. That's a wide mouth, smallmouth bass. And that's about the 6th fish you've caught on this trip, right? We released the other 5. They were maybe a little smaller, maybe one about that size, but this morning they decided to keep that one. And what are we gonna do? We're gonna cook it?
Yeah, breakfast, catch and cook.
Catch and cook, so we gotta fillet that fish, and then we're going to throw it in a frying pan, a little butter, a little oil. We don't have any breading or anything like that, but we can fillet it and have a little taste of what that tastes like. Right fresh out of the water 20 minutes ago. Okay, after much discussion, what we have decided to do is leave 4 people at the camp. They're going to take more time. They want to have breakfast, they want to cook eggs, and they want to do that kind of stuff, which is great, and that's fine. And Andrew wants to feed the boys, so that's good. But I want to get out of the water, so Greg and I are what we're gonna do, the plan is we're gonna head back over to where we launched from at Dillon Cove Marina, and we're gonna take some of the stuff off the Seadoo so we're not packing the stuff around all day, put it back in the truck, because it's not that far away. And then from there, we're going to head out into some of the islands of Georgian Bay and explore around a little bit. But first of all, we're going to make a run back to Dillon Cove Marina. That's the plan. So if we just hug the wall is the best spot. Yeah, it's deepest right along the wall here. I think he touched bottom here the other day and hit a rock with his machine coming out of here. Not hard, but went over it. Actually had to do a little rinse of the machine this morning. I just have a cup I carry with me, so I just took some water from some of the cleaner part of the lake, started dumping it over the top of the Seadoo. There's just this little layer of pollen all over everything this morning, so there's still pollen in the air. That's not totally done yet. Alrighty, it's still a little wavy out here. Did you hear that sound? There was a little cavitation there, which meant there was something sucked into the jet pump through the tunnel system. Could have been some sand in there, could have been a bit of weeds in there, just for having it beached up on the sand, but it just spit it out. I just heard it spit it out. Okay, we are back at Dillon Cove Marina, and we'll just tie up to the dock here, and then we'll take a bunch of stuff off the Seadoo and take it back up to the truck, and then we'll be out of here again. So the only problem with this setup is that the truck that we have to haul all of this stuff to is way up the road around the corner and up top by where all those trailers are parked in the trees. So it's a little ways to go to kind of get rid of this stuff, but I guess we're here now. I'm going to leave the cooler on the back, but I'll take this stuff and put it in the truck. Which reminds me, get the keys to the truck before you walk all the way there. Greg had to make 2 trips up to the truck. I just had to make the 1, and that was enough. So I worked up a sweat. I did grab my jacket just in case it gets colder out there on Georgian Bay further out, just in case. If not, I'll take it back off. But I'm feeling a little warm right in here, but we are going to get out onto some open water here in a few minutes. So I think he's behind me. Yeah, there he comes there. So instead, we're going this way this time. We went that way last time. Now we're going to go this way. I don't know if I need this jacket. I feel a little warm.
Yeah, I took my other shirt off.
I'll leave it on for a few minutes, see what it's like. All right, it looks a little shallow through here. Where are the markers? It's a little choppier out there than I thought it was going to be. There's a couple of foot waves out there. It was supposed to be calmer than that, so it hasn't settled down the water. In here where I am now, I've just pulled in amongst all these rocks and bays. It's shallow in here, but it's a hell of a lot calmer than it is out there. But this is nice in here. It's just beautiful back in here once you get just a little bit off the main body of water. Greg is feeling a little, he's way over there, he's feeling a little reluctant to come in because it's shallow. He should have stuck right behind me. And you don't have to worry here too much about sucking rocks up into the impeller because they're all big boulders and big slabs of rock. It's not like it's a little rock that is going to get sucked up into the impeller. Look at this little area right in here. It's all solid rock, so anywhere you touch the Seadoo, it's going to be onto rock. There's just no place where it's dirt or sand or anything like that. Just trying to find some place that I can actually crawl into the water here where it's not too slippery. This looks slippery here. The water looks clean there. If I could get in, I don't know how I can get out. This is Georgian Bay. This is not Muskoka. Woo! Okay, now I'm into the mud. Okay. Oh, that feels good. Oh, yeah. I didn't show you me getting out because that was not very graceful. I almost crawled out because the rocks are so slippery and I don't want to fall and bash a knee or something like that, so I just kind of edged my way out and crawled out of the water. I'll follow ya. If you can go through one way, you can go through back the other way. Yeah, you only need about 3 feet of water, and as long as you're not going to suck any pebbles up from the bottom and get them in the impeller, those are just big slabs of rock, so it's pretty easy to judge the depth on something like that. It's stuff like this that's sort of just under the water. If it's a little higher, it's a little hard to see other than a color change, and you're whipping along at some speed and you hit that. That's what's dangerous. So that flag right there is a pretty good indicator of the wind, and that is a heck of a lot more than 14, 15 kilometers per hour, which is what Windfinder said it was going to be today. That's probably 20, 22, maybe 24 kilometers per hour. So the wind is a lot stronger than the app was telling me sitting in the tent this morning when I had a look. The winds are a lot stronger out here. So I think, guys, I am going to wrap this video up right here. This trip for Georgian Bay. We're going to go back towards the marina. I'm not quite ready to pull out yet. I might just explore a little bit around the area, but I think the rest of the guys want to pull out and head home. It is a 2-hour, 40-minute drive to get home yet. We'll see. We'll see what it's like around the marina, but I think we'll wrap this one up here. I hope you enjoyed some of the beautiful vistas that I was able to show you out here on Georgian Bay. One night of camping. Not sure where I'm going to next. That'll depend on the weather, but for this trip, it's been pretty nice for the most part. Just a little windier than I wanted it today, and I didn't get to show you some of the areas I wanted to take you to, but we'll do that another day. Thanks for coming along, guys, on this Yukon Bob video. See you on the next one. Stay safe on the water, and bye for now.